ELI5. What is the reason that almost every video game today has removed the ability for split screen, including ones that got famous and popular from having split screen? 3 main reasons. It takes a lot of extra processing power to generate the split screen aspect. It's development work they would rather put towards their more lucrative multiplayer. Usually with microtransactions, they sell more copies of the games to groups of friends who want to play it. Now all of those are horseshit reasons, and I want my couch co-op back, but still. I would, and do, support games with couch co-op, like Borderlands, Lovers in a Dangerous Spacetime, Speedrunner, etc. I recommend you do the same. Also fuck Halo 5. What I gather is that most people don't have siblings, and thus the concept of if it's not split screen we can't play together doesn't get across. And maybe I have rose-tinted glasses, but it feels like games like Halo Reach or some of the older CODs had good graphics and split screen. And I mean, we all know how fast COD pumps out games, so it's not like they sacrificed getting the game out on time to allow my brother and I to get top of the leaderboards on COD Zombies edit. I meant most people commenting don't live with siblings currently or don't have any. I in no way mean that most people are single children. My comment was poorly worded. My bad. The core of it is that it takes at least twice the computing power to render 2 separate viewpoints, and simulate the physics, AI, etc. for those separate viewpoints. Additionally, it takes extra memory and invalidates some hacks that work when you only have one viewpoint. This means that it's a lot more work to render 2 viewpoints than it is to render just one. It's a lot of work for graphics programmers. They have to remove hacks while maintaining framerate, find the memory to render multiple viewpoints, figure out how to swap to cheaper assets and rendering techniques, figure out how to render split screen with whatever new, cutting-edge PBR, HDR, deferred techniques your game is running, and make it work on whatever potato marketing has decided your min-spec is. It's a lot of work for gameplay programmers. They have to remove hacks while maintaining framerate, help designers with AI issues. Things like an aggro system and limiters for AI numbers help designers with scripting issues. It's a lot of work for artists. They have to build cheaper versions of the assets. Generally this is done already when they author LODs, but they have to make sure the LODs hold up close to the player. This step applies to nearly everything in the game: meshes, textures, explosions, etc. Optimize the game for double rendering. This means going through the game and tagging things to not show up at all in split screen. This part is crazy time consuming. It's a lot of work for designers. They have to make sure AI works with 2+ player characters. Make sure scripting works with 2+ characters. What happens when one guy runs ahead and triggers a cutscene, for example? Make sure pickups and items read well in smaller windows. All of this while marketing is complaining that the game looks worse in split screen and production is changing the end goal and redefining what game means. Once all this work is done, marketing looks at the numbers of people playing split screen and decides it's not worth doing all this work on the next game. Source: shipped a split screen game. Edit: obligatory thanks for the gold, stranger. Maybe. He's also talking out of his fucking ass. Developer physics doesn't happen twice. The second he said that, he was full of shit. Also, the screen area isn't double, it's the same as before. Each viewport is only half the original size. And yes, it's slower but not 2x slower. You just have to render a second camera. Ever seen a mirror or a water reflection in a game? Guess how they do that? They render from a different camera angle. Technically, there are lots of methods with different levels of costs, benefits. So if rendering a second viewport is 2x slower, congratulations, traditional reflections and mirrors are also impossible. Except they aren't. All the textures are already loaded. Many of the transformations are already computed, e.g. the skeletal systems. The only difference is the camera transform matrix. LOD already applies in most AAA games. So the LOD algorithm is already going to scale down any time the game gets slower, more enemies on the screen, or they're further away. So a half-resolution screen is going to require half the pixel detail. Do you want to know the real reason it doesn't happen? Fixed company resources. Most people played split screen because online didn't exist. Now, most people play online. Look at the Wii U. It has tons of split screen and shared screen games. Why? Because their target market is specifically families. Not 14 to 25 boys who want to shoot each other and talk shit over a microphone. Companies have to focus their resources where they're most effective. I'm so sick of Reddit becoming dominated by whoever is first to write a comment that sounds plausible, regardless of actual validity.